and then the district. And I'll tell you more about that next week when I have the great details. We had a meeting on it last night, and the contest is very powerful for your Toastmasters career. It's a really interesting way to use your Toastmaster skills. And then the district. And I'll tell you more about that next week when I have the great details. Somehow I'm getting repeated, which is fine.
It's fixed.
Okay. Anyway, the contests that we have at Toastmasters happen, to my knowledge, once a year. It used to be twice a year, and I think they changed it. This is going to be an online contest. One of the contests will be on being an evaluator, and one of the contests will be another topic. So that's all the news that's fit to print today, and I will turn over our meeting to our illustrious Toastmaster, and I have to go get my dog who just got out, so excuse me. Bianca, I just saw her run off.
Right. Well, happy Wealth Wednesday, inspirational speakers. Boom, boom, clap, boom, boom, clap. I can't wait till we're in person and we can beat on the table and say boom, boom, clap, boom, boom, clap. I miss that feeling. I don't know about you all. So for those of you who've never been in person with us, that's what goes down is we beat on the table and we go boom, boom, clap. Every time we say inspirational speakers, that happens. So I want to welcome everybody to a new meeting, a new week, a new Wednesday. Out with the old, in with the new is today's theme. So with that idea, let's go ahead and breathe together. And let's breathe out first, and then we'll breathe in some new air. So everybody exhale all the air and energy out of your body. And slowly inhale. And fill all the way up like a big balloon. And blow it all the way back out and shrink down a little. Inhale new air, new energy. And blow it out again. And take one more on your own. I think a lot of us have busy days and a lot going on. And so I think we all could use just a little breath of fresh air. If you give me one moment, I have someone asking for the Toastmaster link for today's meeting. So I am trying to type that in my phone because that's the only way I know how to send it. Otherwise, it's not as tech savvy as I come across. Promise. I know how to do the things that I know how to do. So let's get this party started. I want to introduce a few functionaries for today before we get to hear from our wonderful Madam President, who is our also speaker today. Our timer, Miss Taisha Thompson, if you can unmute yourself and let them know what is your job today as Miss Timer.
Hello, fellow Toastmaster friends. My name is Taisha Thompson, and I'm here to keep the time. I'm gonna give you a green light when you have hit the time or when you're almost there, maybe a minute before. A green light, a yellow light when you're close, and a red light when you are there. So I will be keeping time today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next on my list, I have the General Evaluator, who is keeping an eye on everything that's going on. Miss Chanita Lynn, your friend, if you can unmute yourself and give them more about the General Evaluator's job.
Evaluator, I do have the
we lost your volume. Well, she did warn us and let us know ahead of time that she would have some audio issues, but she is a good chat box typer. So I think if nothing else, if we can't hear her, she can communicate to us through the chat box while she's working over there, maybe finding some headphones to plug in that might help. Next in line, I would like to introduce Let's see, who do we have here? We have a grammarian / word of the day master, Miss Sandra Merrill. Give her a round of applause.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. We have a word of the day, thanks to Madam President. It is prescience. The definition is in the chat, although because it was placed in there earlier, Kim, you might not see it because you just hopped in. Welcome, Kim. So we'll just repeat it in there for you. So we'll try to use the word prescience a few times, not only in this meeting, but throughout the rest of our week, trying to use it correctly and get more used to it as a word. It means it's the fact of knowing something before it takes place, or foreknowledge. I liked Janet's definition of a hunch. We all have that gut feeling that tells us something's going to be the way it is. I'm also the grammarian today, and I feel like there's a prescience that I will be hearing some excellent use of the English language. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Hello.
You. Go ahead, Janet. Can we hear you?
You can? Great.
Yes, we can. If you want to go ahead and give us your spiel again, because we couldn't hear you the first go round, we'll take it.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Since I do have according to our plan. So I will be introducing
So I wasn't sure if it was just me, but it's everybody. Okay. I don't know. Well, we have to work on some sign language or something. I don't know. But what I'm going to guess that she said, it says high marks for gestures, though. All right. Because we know that you came with some passion. It felt like I felt a little higher level of confidence in whatever you were saying. But I think what she's saying is that she's keeping an eye on what's going on today, how the meeting is flowing, and that she will run the evaluation portion of the meeting later on. Is that what you said, Miss Janita? Give me a thumbs up. All right. So next in line, let's see, we have an evaluator for today, and that is Miss Kim Connor. So Kim, I'm not sure if you had a chance to get some evaluation information from Miss Janet or not. So let me check in really quick. Yes, no, maybe. Let's see. Ms.
I
Kim.
put it in easy speak, but she can just do a regular kind of evaluation because the bulk of the time is going to be question and answer.
Okay. Okay.
And she can evaluate how I answer questions.
Okay. All right. So what I will do is I will give you all a little background on Janet's speech and what she's working on. She is working from the Innovative Planning Pathway. And she's on project number 4, level 4, project number 8, question and answer session. It says she will deliver a speech on a topic of which the speaker is particularly knowledgeable and conduct an effective question and answer session. So get your questions ready. Don't be afraid. Start jotting them down when she starts talking and get ready to raise your hand. And now I give the mic over to Miss Janet Sellers.
Thank you, everyone, so much for your attention and for being here today. I truly appreciate it. Today's topic is prescience, which is knowing about something before it happens. I think we've all had that idea in our lives with having a hunch. I have a hunch, blah, blah, blah. I have a hunch there's going to be a lot of traffic today because it's the weekend of Labor Day. I have a hunch there'll be a lot of traffic at the end of the weekend, those kinds of things. But there are other hunches. Now, most of you know that I'm an artist and a writer, and you know that I talk about art, hopefully in more innovative ways than you might have considered it before. Many of us consider our art experiences back to kindergarten, and we don't move forward with them. But I'd like you to move forward with this idea. I wrote about it for the newspaper recently, and I think it's really powerful for you to know. So I'm going to talk to you about prescience and hunches, how you can use doodling and drawing to develop that, And then I'm going to open it up for questions and answers. I've been teaching art since 1985. My first group of people right out of going to art school were inner city gang youth in Los Angeles. I walked into the situation and I was a volunteer. I said, well, I'd like to learn how to do this. I'll work with these kids. And I did. The second day on my volunteer job, they said, would you like to do this paid? And I said, sure, money's always good. The other artists quit. They could see that these kids were tough to work with. And when I asked a couple of them, they said, these are not nice kids. These are mean kids. And these were all people from the same neighborhood in East LA. So it wasn't any surprise to anybody what kind of kids they would be working with. I think me being so naive was the reason I took the job on. And I thought, well, you know, I've been working with kids and college kids for a long time. I can do this. We started without pencils and without paper. Hopefully it won't scream at you anymore. I brought in, are you ready for this? Because they were waiting and waiting to learn how to paint. I brought in Q-tips and my own paints and some paper, and I taught them to paint with Q-tips because our supplies was not coming and not coming and not coming. Every single one of those kids said to me, are you a nun? I said, what? They said, only nuns come in here. Nobody else comes in here. I said, well, I'm not a nun. I'm naive, but I'm not a nun. And we made thank you. We made a 500-foot mural. Now, the prescience part that I want to show you, and you can use a piece of paper or not, I want to show you this. You may or may not recognize what this might be. But I think at the end of my talk, you will. This might be something, it might not. Here's another step. It might.
We lost sound. Can anyone hear Janet?
Nope.
No, we can't hear you anymore, Janet.
Janet, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, we hear you now.
Okay, well, my microphone, you saw the pictures. Can you guess what this is? Anybody raise your hand? Okay, Mimi, what do you guess?
An orange.
Yeah, orange or an apple, that's right. Those are the building steps of prescience, of being able to tell the future. Now, the scientific background on that is that when you draw and doodle, that helps your mind to connect, and you connect observations, and you develop the ability to foretell your future. You can say, this looks dangerous, I'm not going here, or this looks like it's going to be fun, I'm going here. Those are the beginning of hunches. But they found with all kinds of patients, meaning the people who are in the hospital or people who have Alzheimer's or people who have issues, particularly mental functioning, that when they do the drawing and when they do these aspects, their prescience and their mental cognitive abilities connect. They connect inside their head, begins to work, and they begin to enjoy it. Thank you very much. I'm opening up the floor for questions. Please ask me questions. Kim, unmute yourself and please ask a question.
Yes, thank you, Janet. I have a question. When you're doodling, how do you know what to doodle? Or do you create a topic and then doodle, or just start doodling just to be doodling?
I think
That's my question.
Yeah, I think you can doodle anything. You might have heard of Zen tangles or Zen things where you take a shape and then put little doodles inside of it. Anything, the whole point, the word drawing itself means to draw, to pull into. So a horse will draw a cart. They're pulling it into a location. We are drawing from the universe, if you want to look at it that way, or we are drawing from our imagination and bringing it into reality. So you could draw something you want in the future. It could be a crummy drawing or a great drawing. It doesn't matter. The point is you're teaching your mind to draw. You're teaching your mind to put onto physical reality something, and that will teach you how to manifest things in your life. I'm not making this up. It actually, I have lots of scientific background that I didn't have time to tell you about, but I have endless amounts with art therapy, with science, with a number of investigative aspects. And these things pull together because we are visual human beings. You can ask a blind person and they still imagine things. They may not see it, but they still imagine it. They feel things. We all, as human beings, are imaginative creatures. So yes, to answer your question, do anything. And you may find yourself moving forward to a more planned type of drawing, but you may not. It's the act of drawing and the conscious act of saying to yourself, I'm going to do this, and making a plan for yourself and acting on it. And that will create a lot inside your system. Next question. Somebody cook one up.
I have a question.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I had two, but I lost the first one. I wrote the second one down because it was way more important to me.
Okay.
I doodle during meetings all the time. So like if I have an agenda or something, or even just wherever I'm taking notes, by the end of the meeting, there's like a monstrosity of doodleage on my paper. What does that mean? What's happening?
Well, I'm not a psychologist, but I can tell you that we have found that when people use a pen and paper or some kind of drawing instrument and paper, your memory is improved. Screens do not do that. The screen information goes to a different part of your brain. So it's passive. You accept it. You cannot act on it as easily, if you can act on it at all, but you can act on things that you physically draw in and lay down. I highly recommend that you do that. If you find yourself doodling in a meeting, don't be embarrassed. Be proud of it, because that means that you are physically in a space and aware of that. If you check out during the meeting, that's a different story. But if you're listening and you need to do some doodling, that's super powerful for your memory and what you're absorbing.
Okay, so I figured out what my other question was, but
go ahead.
I will say that my doodles usually are inspired by either something that I see or was said in the meeting. That's usually what starts it. And then I think I do that thing you said, Zentangle something, where it's like shapes. It's a shapes deal.
Right.
But did I hear that doodling is linked to manifesting?
When you put an idea down on paper, whether it's in words, and in my opinion, whether it's in a drawing, and you have an idea, you're bringing that into this world. You're bringing that into physical existence. And that teaches your mind, body experience to manifest that. In the book, Think and Grow Rich, he has proven hundreds of thousands of times that you can dream and dream and dream, which is very important. Write it down and you've brought it to this world. You've brought it to this space and reality. And that's the important part. In my case, I draw pictures. I live in this house that you can see part of. I manifested this house when I lived in Texas. I drew a picture of it and I drew airplanes beneath it because I thought, well, we're going to be high up in the sky. And I am. I'm at 7,500 feet. Every part of this house was built according to my imagination. And when we walked in here, the fellow who built it was going to live here. So he made it really well. And then he decided not to live here. We bought the house. We bought my house. It even has a separate toilet, not next to the tub. Thank you very much, because I can't stand it when you want to take a nice clean bath and somebody's taking a dump in there. So I made sure my bathrooms in my imagination did what I want.
We lost her.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Oh, yep. Thank you.
Well, that is awesome. That is awesome. That was a wonderful speech. So let's, in case Janet can hear us and see us, let's give her a round of applause.
Is that a red line? I can't see. I see all three colors, so I can't tell.
Well, Janet, we lost you for a little while.
Okay.
Oh,
Hold
Janet, you still have another 5 minutes. Just the green one's lit up.
Okay.
So you still have another 5.
So what did you last year? And I'll see if I can make it work.
You let us know that you manifested that whole house with the bathrooms included.
Okay. Well, the funny part is I made sure that the bathrooms have a toilet with a door you can shut on purpose because I never wanted to take a shower or a bath with somebody taking a dump in the same place. That's just, that's just the way I am.
I have a question, Janet.
Absolutely, yes.
So if someone wanted to, because you said it was therapeutic, if someone wanted to start painting, what's the mindset? Like, what materials do I need to get? What's the mindset of someone that wants to do this for therapy or even to manifest something? Like, what should I be thinking about?
I think that you can take a pen or a pencil and a blank piece of paper and start moving around. If you can't decide what to do, you can do what's called contour drawing, which means you don't look at your paper, you don't look at your pen, and you look at something else and you draw. Imagine that you're drawing around the eye or whatever. You'll be amazed at the extraordinary drawing that you can do. The other thing is to just make scribbles on the page and then fill in between those lines. The point is to activate yourself with the pen, with the instruments. And that does something inside your brain, and it does something inside your heart as well. And you begin to manifest things that you would like. Sometimes they're really random. In my case, we had moved 11 times before my son was 4. And I thought, I am never moving again. This is going to be my house. Down to wood floors. I didn't know how we were going to afford it, but by golly, we did it. My husband wasn't even employed at the time. It all played out. And I've been here for 28 years. And I've hit bottom for people that can't imagine what bottom is, and I'm still.
Janet, we lost you.
All right, we lost you again, Janet. So we're going to go ahead and call that an end for Janet and give her a round of applause.
Again.
So what we'll do now is if the timer could put a minute on the clock so we can have some time to jot down some notes about what we just thought about Janet's presentation and her Q&A session.
Can you hear me? Yep.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
So while the timer is doing that, speaking of timing, I am dropping a link in the box. And what I'm dropping in the box is a resource for some Zoom backgrounds. And what was a great reminder is Taisha having that green, what do you call it, green screen behind her. So with that green screen, you can do some custom Toastmaster backdrops. You can even do Toastmaster timer backdrops where you can change your background from green to yellow to orange. And I just noticed they got a brand new one that has a stoplight, just like how she had that stoplight on the phone. So I thought that was cool. So you never know what's out there. There's a lot of resources on Toastmasters online. I think Toastmasters.org is where you want to go and check out some of the resources that are there, because there's a lot there, way more than we discuss in club. So has it been about a minute on the clock, Miss Timer, you think? We're going to say about ish. We still got 10 seconds on the clock, so you got 10 more seconds to jot your ideas down, or actually you can go ahead and drop them in the chat box, because today we will not be doing a round robin. Miss Janet has her own personal evaluator, Miss Kim Connor. So at this time, it's time for the fun. And I'm passing the fun baton over to our new VP of Education, Mr. Arturo. Give him a round of applause.
Hey, thank you very much, Mimi. Thank you, thank you. I love being a table topics master because it's an opportunity for us to just practice our skills so we can get better at speaking, thinking, being able to think on our feet. So I always love building those skill sets. So the first question I am going to pick Kim. Here's a question for you. You got 2 minutes here, up to 2 minutes. When was the last time you pushed yourself out of your comfort zone?
Thank you for that. Newly Vice President of Education. Congratulations. The last time I pushed myself out of my comfort zone, I would have to say was Saturday. Saturday, I was due to do an extensive presentation for my company. Since I am in the leadership advisory team of my company, I was going through some things, and I'm the type of person, if my plate is so full, I say, what can I take off of it? What can I take off of it? I won't go to Toastmaster today, or I won't make this meeting today so that I can put 100% into this effort that I'm trying to do. So that is one day that I decided I'm not taking anything off my plate. That is why I'm here today. I'm not taking anything more off of my plate. I'm just going to eat small portions. So what I did, even with an hour of sleep on this extensive training that I had to do, I got up, I did what I had to do, and I went for what I knew. I had a precedence that it was going to be a wonderful day. All I had to do is show up. That's giving at least 10% or 50% or even 80%. That's a lot better than 0%. I said, get up and get it done, madam. And I am here. No guilt, no pun intended, but I'm coming for what's mine. So that is when I had to jump out of my comfort zone. You see, sometimes people are just comfortable with being comfortable. I'm not comfortable anymore of being mediocre. I have to step to it, get to it, and I definitely have to step out of my comfort zone. So I hope that that brings value to each and everybody on this screen. And there you have it.
Wow. Thank you, Kim. That's such an inspiration. 1 hour of sleep. That's very impressive. I can't remember the last time I did something like that. So thank you very much for sharing.
My pleasure.
The next question I got here, we're going to go with Miss Marilyn J. The next question here is, what is a motto or saying that you live by? And what inspired you to live by that?
All righty. Thank you, Toastmasters. There are, I would say, a couple of models I go by. Some don't have good language, so I can't share them here in this space. But thinking of one motto that I go by, and it's because I like to have fun. I always say that a big girl has to eat. And I'm not necessarily a big girl. And I don't mean it in reference to size. I just mean it in reference to as far as women, our personality, our hunger for life, our eagerness for life, and my own personal hunger and eagerness for life, and my own personal like for food. So yes, a big girl has to eat. A big girl has to eat good meals. A big girl has to eat big, healthy doses and portions of all the goodness that life has to offer, all of the good energy and all of the good people that are here to share life experiences with. So that's my motto, is a big girl gotta eat. And there's a big girl in all of us, a big professional girl, a big boss girl. We got big leaders. And I just wanna look at myself as being the biggest, best that I can. And I gotta eat, honey, to keep myself fed and to keep giving the best of me to everyone I encounter.
Thank you very much, Miss Marlin. That's actually a new one. It's the first time I hear that one, so it's very refreshing to hear a new motto. I like it. I like it because it relates to growth, and I love growth. The next question here, I'm going to pick Miss Taisha. Miss Taisha, your question is, what gets you excited? What gets you excited about life?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. What gets me excited about life is service, helping other people. They say that the more you help people get the things they need, you automatically get the things that you need. So I'm always looking to help other people, because in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know I'm going to get a return on this investment, whatever I may do, that can help somebody else or brighten up somebody else's day or life. I say that I'm a servant and my job here is to serve. So that's the goal, is to help as many people as I can, so I can leave a legacy. So people can remember me when I'm no longer here. So Taisha looked out for me. She didn't just work a job. She served. She helped some people out. So I don't know. They'll remember me. I'll leave with some type of legacy by helping lots of people. Thanks.
Thank you, Taisha. That is very selfless of you to say that. It's not often I would expect people to hear people being very selfless. And I'm currently working on my finances part of my life. And one of the last steps that I'm learning is having so much that you get to the point that you're very generous, that you're helping people. That's one of the things I see, high correlations I see with wealthy people. They get to the point that they just give they're so generous, they give a lot of money to support very important causes in life. All right. Next question here, I would say, is Miss Sandy. Sandy, the question that I have here for you is, what life lesson did you learn the hard way?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. All of them. I've learned all of my life lessons the hard way. Let's start with one that I think should be a poster, though, which is always look before you sit down. I don't care if you're in a porta potty, you're out camping, just always look before you sit down. If you've been to enough music festivals, it's just a good one to carry with you anywhere you go. Don't take people for granted. Don't take situations for granted. Nothing lasts forever. Things can always change. Learn something from everyone you meet. It's easy to learn all these things the hard way if people suddenly vanish from your life, or if you just missed the prescience and you're looking back down the road and realized you really missed something back there. And that sums it up. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you. I was actually I did yoga this morning, and one of the instructors mentioned the same thing about not taking it for granted. He had a friend that lost a pet that was very close to him, and he did mention that, to not take things for granted, because you never know how long they're going to be around for. Miss Timer, do we have time for another? No more? Okay. All right then. So I got Kim here. Just to summarize, I got Kim here. She talks about not taking anything off her plate. She was just going to tackle all her tasks today. And that she only got 1 hour of sleep. So she's really challenging herself today. We got Marilyn J., who her motto is "A big girl has to eat." And it's not just about meals, but also about pursuing big things in life as well. We got Taisha, who what makes her really excited in life is service, helping other people. And Sandy, how she says that she learned a lot of things the hard way, including if we're ever going to sit down, make sure to look before you sit down, to not take people for granted, or a few things I have here. So if you could please send me who your best table topics person is, and then in the end, we will have a winner. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Give our Table Topics Master a round of applause. That was awesome. So please make sure that in a private chat, you send your vote to where it says Arturo RD. What is the RD, Arturo?
My last name, Rubio Doroteo.
All right. So I am casting my vote. I hope that you are doing the same. And now, the most valuable portion of the meeting. I am now going to pass over to our general evaluator, General Chanita Lynn, your friend. Please take it away, Miss Chanita Lynn. Can you hear me? Okay, that's all right. I will jump in, and if you get some volume somewhere in there, you're more than welcome to take over. So at this point, we are going to go through the evaluation portion of the meeting. We're going to call on first our speech evaluator, Miss Kim Connor, who is evaluating Janet Sellers. Show of a round of applause.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Yes, Janet, I do have the evaluation where you wanted me to look to see your engagement with the audience. I have, as far as your clarity, a 5. You were in and out, well, your clarity, I'm sorry, is a 3. You were in and out as far as your clarity and your audio. I know that's not in your control, but I did give you a 3 on that. You know, just a little takeaway, what you can give back to us is possibly practice on Zoom, on your own personal Zoom before you get here. And then that would help, you know, possibly iron out some of the kinks there. But as far as your vocal variety, I loved it. You had us in and out of the room as usual. You had us right there with you in the engagement process. You had props, which is kind of hard to do on Zoom, but you brought it to us. Your eye contact gave you a 5. Excellent. I didn't notice you looking at any notes. So that means to me that you're an expert in what you're actually talking about. So kudos for that. Your comfort level, always a 5. You know you're an expert. You know you bring it. And I appreciate that confidence in you because it just, it excites me and it inspires me to do better. Active listening, had to give you a 5 because you were able to actively answer the questions that were given to you, which means you were an active listener. So kudos for that. Engagement, of course, a 5. Asking questions to your audience and then also asking your audience to ask questions to you. Engagement, if I could, I'd give you a 10. So kudos for that. Overall, you did an amazing job. And you excelled at your engagement process that you were looking for in this speech. So with that being said, Janet, congratulations on doing an amazing job.
Thank you. I had impressions that you were going to get a great evaluation, Queen, because how could you not? Like she said, you're an expert. You always have something for us that we never even thought we may have even been interested in, and you make it interesting. And we're taking notes like, I'm going to try that. I can't wait to draw my dream home. Now, it may not look as beautiful as yours, you know, my drawing, of course, but I hope my house can be just as beautiful. So now we are going to roll into the next portion of our evaluation, which is to call on our functionaries. So if you didn't get a chance to or here's your chance. Or if you didn't get a chance to use this wonderful word of prescience that is spelled like pre-science, here's your chance. Going once, going twice. All right. I am now going to call on, I want to make sure I'm calling everybody in order. I am going to call on our timer. Miss Timer, please give us your report.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. So I have Janice on her speech. She had 5 to 10 minutes. She went a whopping 7 minutes and 42 seconds. She stayed within the time limits. Sandra, your talk was 1 minute and 3 seconds. Miss Kim Connors, your talk went a little over 1 minute at 1 minute and 47 seconds. Miss Marilyn J went over as well with 1 minute and 30 seconds. And me being the timer didn't start the timer on time. So I only have 30 seconds for myself, but I'm sure I went about a minute or more. Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. That's my report.
Thank you so much. Sandra said you did perfectly. I love it.
Thank you.
So speaking of perfectly and speaking perfectly, I am now going to call on our grammarian for the day, Miss Sandra Marrow.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, backup evaluator, general evaluator. Grammatically, you all did very well today. There was nothing for me to write down with a flinch like, "Ooh, don't do that." Congratulations on that. There were a lot of nice turns of the word, and the word of the day, prescience, was really usable. Thank you for giving us a word we knew how to use in a sentence, Janet. It might be one we don't use often, and that's exactly what we're looking for in a word of the day. We don't use it much, but we could if we just thought to do it. Janet, of course, was the heaviest hitter. I only counted 7 and I stopped counting. I knew she had more than that. Mimi, I wrote down 4 of them for you. Art, you had at least 1 and I didn't keep counting. Shame on me, so sorry. Kim, I heard you try to use it. It just kind of flew past me quickly. So I wrote it down like I could swear she just used it right there. And I know that I used it at least once correctly or incorrectly. Either way, I got it in there. Wonderful job, everybody.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for that, Sandra. Next, we have Marilyn J. Our
Eye counter.
yes, our kind of thank you for being here for us, Marilyn.
Yes, well, I was tasked with being with the counter. I came in on Janet's speech, but you guys did well today. There is no king or queen of Oz in this Toastmasters meeting today, and everyone really spoke well. No ums and that kind of thing. You guys were fluent and confident in everything that came out of your mouth. So great job.
Thank you, Miss Marilyn J. Now, just for our general evaluation of the meeting, timing was good. We started on time. All of the sessions were conducted on time, especially the table topics. Everyone that participated spoke within the amount of time, 2 minutes. The roles, everyone played their role and they explained their roles very well. We appreciate that. We all know what we're tasked to do today. The meeting was conducted with, we had a few technical issues, but the main thing is that you overcome your technical issues. So that is important to be able to get through the technical issues and continue to, because the show must go on. In the opening remarks from our president, we're looking for something that inspires us, but just knowing our topic today was out with the old and in with the new is very inspirational. We can take some inspiration from that topic. And so we are inspired. Thank you. It's been a great meeting. And it looks like we're going to end on time also. Back
Thank
to the
you.
Toastmaster. Back to our
Thank you,
Toastmasters.
Madam
Thank you.
General Evaluator. Give her a round of applause for a great evaluation. See how she just slid in there all smooth? That was awesome. So
Thank
I
you.
want to thank you all for a great meeting. Out with the old, in with the new. Out with the old expectations of Toastmasters and how things were supposed to be and how we thought they were going to be. And in with creating our new experience with our new tribe and growing that tribe is what I want to encourage us all to do. I have a prescience that we're going to be growing soon. I have a prescience that we are going to have an open house soon that we all are going to be able to invite people to online and in person possibly. So with that being said, I am now going to pass this meeting over to our president, Madam Janet Sellers.
All right, thank you very much. We still have our table topics to hear the
Yes.
winners.
I almost forgot. I need a drum roll and I need Art to unmute himself and let us know who is the winner. Drum roll.
Right, so the winner is Kim Connor, congrats. Congrats. Thank you.
That is awesome. Okay, now we have winners. You're all winners in my book. You know, we're all winners and we're getting better each time. And now I'm going to pass it to our winning president, Janet Sellers.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. Everyone here is a winner. When you show up to Toastmasters, particularly, you are winning for yourself. You're winning for your family and your community. You're winning for your profession. You're going to feel like you're a winner all week long. And I think that's really powerful because you can remember, you can remember this meeting, remember the good things, and you can look forward to next week, which is creating a wonderful week for you the entire week. And then you land at the meeting and there you are, ready for a new experience. It's almost like having a date with yourself that you get pats on the back from people who care about you. And I think that's pretty powerful. I would like you to keep in mind that we will be asking you to pay your dues, which is, you know, when you think about it, $90 a year to be trained to be the best person you can